everyone. Welcome to Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud. Today, I am I'm honored. I'm excited that in the clubhouse, I got to meet this guy, and I just love him like a brother. He's just amazing. And I'm just doing a little intro video, and then I'll be right back, okay? Hold on. Okay, wait a second. This is where I usually just bring up Jay, but you know, Jay's such a special guy. I can't do any justice unless I do this with a little help of one of my friends.
Lynn Serrano, I know that Jay Noland has no idea that you planned this. You're doing this. Jay Noland, wow, an awesome guy. You're in for a real treat. This guy is not only an author, a father, a husband. He is a life mindset coach. This guy is just amazing. Definitely catch him on Clubhouse. He puts together some amazing rooms, and he is going to drop gold nuggets today. He's going to bring the fire. Why? That's who he is. He's all energy. Lynn, thank you for letting me share just a few words about this man. I am blessed for having you in my life, Jay. I look forward to seeing this out on the replay or catching it live. Be well, my brother. Enjoy the show. I know you're going to bring the fire.
Woohoo! The one and only Jay Noland. I love you. Welcome to be on my show. I'm super excited. I got to thank Mark Rodriguez. And I think it's funny that I decided to put his little picture up there. I couldn't help myself. Hey, it's my entertainment. What can I tell you? I mean, I just cracked myself up. So, Jay, welcome to my show. If you'll just introduce yourself, and we're going to go down a whole gamut of stuff with you, but just a quick introduction would be great. And thank you so much for being here. And it's an honor for you to trust me to be on my show.
I tell you what, Lynn, I'm honored to be here, and your energy is infectious. I think everyone needs to grab that because, you know, inspiration and motivation, that's what takes us to our next step. And those steps equals our goals, our hopes, our dreams. Anytime you got someone like you that's bringing that fire and that passion, that's what the world needs, Lynn.
I just love you so much. I just have all sorts of stuff going here, but let's just take it easy before we get all wild up in here, okay? So let's start with something simple. What meaning does living your best life have for you personally?
I mean, you know, living your best life is about maximizing the moment. You know, that's really like a mantra of my life. You know, I'm trying to get every inch of benefit from the oxygen that I breathe. I literally, Lynn, pay close attention to time. And I realize that we only have a certain amount of it, so we have to pay attention to it. And I personally do, so that I don't get caught wasting time because I can't get it back. So my life mantra is maximize the moment.
And that's why I'm honored that you're here, my friend. So what do you love in your life other than your family?
You know what? I'm pretty deep when it comes to my spiritual beliefs. You know, I grew up in a very spiritual family, and then when I got a little bit older and started thinking for myself, I, you know, went into some deep dives. As a matter of fact, back in 1992, after I won my second minor league stolen base championship with the San Diego Padres, the next year I was headed to the major leagues. I decided to take time off, and I just kind of dropped it, and it freaked everybody out. They're like, "What are you talking about? You're going to the major leagues?" I'm like, "I want to find out why I'm here." So I spent about a year just deep diving, and then I went back the following year and had a great couple of years after that. And then, you know, what happened is, you know, life starts lifing on you, and it makes you go grab those roots. That's why I believe my spiritual life is so important to me. And I'm an avid outdoorsman. I love to fish. Me and my dad, we just go at it. We have one of the best times ever every time we get a chance to fish together.
I know you got to come out to Montana and hang out with me because that's where I'm at. So yeah, God. I know a Boricua in Montana. That's just where it landed. But what makes you? All right, bro. What makes you laugh?
What makes me laugh?
Other than me.
other than Lynn, which is just a bundle of laughs, like consistent flow of laughs. I'm trying to figure out how do I fill in any more gaps.
I'll help you. Wait. I'll help you, bro.
Man, let me see if I get with Buster. What y'all think? Hey. Let's go. Cause I'm feeling like I get away. You never stop me. Every time my brother man, you do that, you be something else.
I'll be something else. Okay, I thought I'd warm you up a little bit with a little laughter. Did I tell you I was gonna make you laugh?
Oh, you got me, man. You know, Lynn, I was sitting around with my staff one day, and they were talking about that song, and then I heard it playing in the background. I just turned it up, and then they were like, "You got to get on TikTok." And I've never done. I think I've done like one TikTok, and the next thing you know, I just decided to do that, and kind of took a life of its own.
You see, on my show, if you got anything on social media, Lynn's gonna find it, and Lynn has property to use it, and I'm gonna use it, and that's how that grows.
That's great. Now, that's got to make you laugh, you know, when you just clown. You know, that's one thing about what makes me laugh is just, that's again, captured. There was a moment. I grabbed it. I just ran with it, and I didn't care what anybody else thought. I just cared about what Lynn Serrano thought. She liked it.
You know what? I did that last night really quick and did it as a draft. And then I'm like, I am not posting this till right before he gets here so that he didn't have time to see it on TikTok. See, I'm even strategic about this stuff.
That's great. That's
oh
great.
My goodness. And if that doesn't make you laugh, I have another one, but we'll leave that for later.
Oh, man.
Anyways, what things have you let go out loud? Let's get down to the nuts and bolts. Everybody might think, oh, wow, you know, you got all these accolades and you got all this inspiration and all this stuff, but, you know, they don't know who you are and who you are at the core. So if you want to share a little bit who you are and what you, and to me, letting go out loud, like we do that a lot. Clubhouse is like a church. We let out a lot.
Oh,
this dude knows more about me than most of my friends do. And that's why we got to stay friends.
Yeah,
you know,
I got some of Lynn's secrets.
I got some of yours too, bro.
That stuff in the closet, they didn't keep it in the closet. They let it out of the closet on Clubhouse.
And not only that, that's why we let it out. Because once we let it out and we realize our vulnerability is something that, you know, even a friend of ours, Renee Godfrey, he's such a great guy, which I think is a good time to bring this out really quick because this guy's got some wisdom.
Hey Jay, this is Renee Godfrey, your friend, your new friend. I remember when I met you many years ago, you were a big executive in the multi-level marketing industry. Everybody was looking up to you, and I said, I want to be like this man when I grow up. Now, here you are getting ready for this wonderful interview. I know you are going to inspire, you are going to motivate the listeners.
I'm so slick. I'm glad you're such a busy man and you never see my show. This is my passion right here.
Man.
Let people know how much they mean to me, because you know what? If I die tomorrow, buddy, I want you to know how much you mean to me. And then it's just not me bullshitting. I got friends, and my friends feel the same way about you. So this is about you, buddy, and this is just showing how much love I have for you. So I hope I did that in the first 10 minutes, man.
Yes, I got to give you a video that, since you love to talk about living and laughing out loud, I got one of my dad that will crack you up.
Oh, I love it. I'd love to share that sometime. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your story here, and let's catch people up and why I love you so much. So go for it.
I'm a small town country boy. You know, I'm from a small town in Kentucky, Winchester, Kentucky. My grandfather had a hog farm, which, if you don't know what a hog is, that's pigs. Well, he had about 75 to 150 pigs all the time. And so he had a farm about 11 miles outside of the town. And so I grew up in the country. You know, I grew up, you know, feeding hogs, cows, chickens, in the garden, fishing, hunting, you name it. Everything having to do with the country life. That's how I grew up. You know, then I got an opportunity. My mom and dad divorced when I was 9. I went and finished my high school up in Florida. My dad moved to Florida. And then I went to junior college for a couple of years. And Lynn, I tell you what, I was kind of tripped out in junior college because I was taking an economics class at the same time. I was on a baseball scholarship, and the economics professor had lost. I had lost an assignment. He said he had it in his car. And so he said, after class, I'll take you out and get the assignment. So I walk out to his car. And again, I don't prejudge anybody, but this is something that just stood out to me. He was the economics teacher, which means money. And he had this old beat up Volkswagen. And so I'm like, I don't want to prejudge, but I'm like, he's teaching me about how to make money. And, whatever he chooses to ride, that's what he chooses to ride, Lynn. But I'm like, man, if I listen to him, it just hit me. Broke. I'm going to be, I said, no. So I really focused on those baseballs. That day in practice, I was more focused than I'd ever been before. And I decided to go ahead and focus enough to where I got drafted by the San Diego Padres 1988, ended up playing 4 years with them, one with the Rockies, one with the Mariners, blew my elbow out in 1995, got involved in direct sales and marketing and started building a pretty big international business. Now I've done business in about 90 plus countries around the world. And it's just been a trip. So now my passion is just pouring into people and letting people know that they can do whatever the hell they want to do. They just got to choose to do it.
It's funny you say that because, again, you don't know much about my show because we just met like last week. But, I've had some of the greats. I've had Robert Hollis on here, Ray Higdon, Robert Sperry. I've had some of those. And here I thought I was just like, getting away from that stuff. The roots that foundation is pretty awesome. And I'm going to throw this out at you real quick.
So have you ever gotten yourself in a pickle? What kind of pickle would you say you got yourself into? That you learned the most valuable lesson ever.
Did you hear that? Yeah. What kind of pickle? I love the pickle story. Everybody loves my pickle stories, man.
A pickle. People get into pickles all the time. How do you get out of pickles?
I want to hear. How'd you get out of pickle?
Man, I love pickles. I eat them.
No. Yeah, Dude, you're going to get this one. Come on. You can do better than that. Answer the question.
That is just clouded on here. You got to be quick. I mean, if you think about all the greats in the world, they're word masters. So you got to spend time learning how to master words, saying the right thing at the right time with the right body language, the right facial expression, the right voice tonality. That gets you out of pickles.
So before you learned that, what pickle did you get into that made you think about, oh, I better not get in a pickle again, so I better learn some more words? Come on.
Well, my grandma Ida Mae Noland, old school Southern grandma, she said, boy, this is when I was about 10 years old. She said, boy, we're going to your aunt's to eat and put on your best looking clothes here. She got me dressed up. She was going to take us about 45 minutes to get ready. I said, Grandma, could I go outside and play a little bit? She goes, boy, you go outside, but you better not get those clothes dirty. You can just go out there in the yard a little bit. I said, all right. So, of course, I went outside and proceeded to get on my bike, and I started riding up by the railroad tracks, and some friends were going down by the tracks. And the day before, it had rained. And beside the railroad tracks, if you know anything about that, it creates these oil puddles. And so my friends started taking off, and I took off after them, and I was completely covered with oil.
Oh, you were going to get your ass beat, huh?
Oh, my God. I walked back in the house. She says, she just looked at me. She says, what in the hell? And I said, Grandma, these boys, they started chasing me. And I had no other route to go but through the railroad track. And that's the only way I got away. And I didn't get as big of a whooping as I would have got. So it taught me about how to get out of a pickle.
I love it. Oh, man, I love that. I love that so much. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. Well, you guys, this guy is just an amazing guy. I can say that all day and you ain't going to get a little piece of it. But what I did is, again, like I said, Lynn does her Google investigation, which I need to be careful because some people are going to get from the clubhouse to start doing their homework and I got to get more clever. So, but anyways, I just want to show you a little bit of this guy's excitement that I found. Let me share this with you.
Are you ready?
If that does not excite you guys, pump your hearts, I don't know what the heck you're doing watching my show.
Man, you got to move. You got to move.
Oh man, I just felt so excited about that. I can't even tell you guys. So let's go into if I can find where I'm at here. Okay, so let's talk about what makes you so passionate in helping others.
I think, man, it's just I got to make my grandparents proud, man. Like my grandmother and granddad, Jim Willie and Ida Mae Noland, they poured their guts into me, and I wouldn't have made it without them. And I just, I just believe that, and I grew up, my family was just kind of free spirited, even though we didn't have hardly anything. It was always dancing and laughter, and my granddad would come in and he'd be doing a little dance, and he'd grab my grandma. My grandma would be like, "Come on, Jim, come on, Jim," and he'd make her dance. He goes, "You know how we used to do it back in the day." So we just kind of grew up with that free spirit. Our whole family, like that.
I love it. I love it. So you talk a lot about people mastering their subconscious mind and confidence training. Yeah. Can you touch a little bit about that?
Well, what happens to us between 0 to 7 is critical. And, scientists have proven this, that we get pretty much our subconscious mind, our mental mapping happens between 0 to 7. And we didn't have any choice in that. So what happened to us? The environment, the clothes, the food, the teaching, the education, the advice, however you grew up between 0 to 7, you got to really study that. Aristotle, the great philosopher, says, if you give me a child until they're 7, I will show you the man, the adult, the woman. I will show you that person. So as I started thinking about that, I'm like, well, why are there so many people having so many problems? Like in the USA, like 40+% of the population have some type of mental issue, mental challenge, mental disorder, anxiety. Is crazy. And so why is that? It's because nobody taught us from grades 1 through 12, let alone from 0 to 7. Then add on to that, going to high school and then college, nobody taught us how to think. No one taught us how to deal with stress. And even though stress is at an all-time high, because they didn't teach us about how to make money. And so if you don't know how to make money, you get behind in bills, and then they throw on some student loans. And the next thing you know, the pressures of the world come down on you, and you didn't have that training from 0 to 7 and all the way through school. You're going to be in trouble. So there are ways to be able to do it. You can do it the long route, like I did in the beginning. Study books like Think and Grow Rich, The Law of Success, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You can read those type of books, and then you can apply that training, and you got to do a lot of repetition. And I would say, and if you want to add a shortcut to that, get involved in brainwave entrainment, which is sound. It's beautiful. Sound therapy is one of the most beautiful things you can do for yourself. Before I got on the show, Lynn, I had my headphones on, and I had on what was called Elevate, which is elevating my consciousness, elevating everything about me. And it's only about 12 minutes. I lay there in the bed, I come out, and it's properly keeping my mind focused. So I believe heavily in helping people to support remapping their brains to where they feel better, they have a better outlook, and they know how to deal with stuff.
Yeah, I was talking to Mark, and he was saying how, man, he's getting some vivid dreams.
Yeah.
He better get used to being woken up.
Like my wife, and she was, we have a 5.5-year-old, and he's ripping and running everywhere. And sometimes, she's trying to get some things done. She was up late because she does a lot of marketing strategies, and so she couldn't sleep, because you kind of wired up. So she just puts on what we call our slumber tones, or our deep sleep system sounds and tones. She's down there right now. It's what, 9:20? She normally gets up at about 7. She is knocked the hell out right now because she put the tones on.
Wow. I got another little goodie here. I went ahead, and again, you're so busy, and we've got about 30 minutes left, if that. And I went ahead and put a little thing together of all the variety of stuff that you're involved in right now, including a book. So this is but I put it to some words that I really love. So here we go.
Grab your friends, find your enemies and make amends, and we'll meet in the middle. Take the pride and set it aside. My hands will build you a shield, and we'll solve the riddle. And we'll remember these times, we'll remember these times. And we'll remember these times, we'll remember these times.
Look at that, the power of the woman. He has a podcast, Talk with Jay. I mean, like, you're in the clubhouse having these amazing room titles for people. I'd love to talk a little bit about that book that you have coming. I was very impressed, and I was one of the ones that asked the question, dude, you got this. Well, tell the title, because I was just like, really? I wondered where you got the idea. So go ahead and share that.
The Power of a Woman from the Perspective of Real Men.
Steve Harvey has nothing over you, baby.
Man, I really hope that it takes a hold, like it grabs, because I think it's what's going to bring men and women together. I think it's going to connect and bridge the gap, because this machoism and this masculinity of men, I mean, this just should be natural. Okay, great. We got some testosterone. All right, you got your testosterone. Now what you going to do? So my grandmother's I tell you, she's my biggest inspiration, because she had me, she held me, she caught me. I can't hardly talk about it. I'm glad we're doing more of a fun tempo show, because I would break down in tears if I have to stop and think about it. She passed in 2004, but she was my inspiration. Now, when I got injured in baseball, all my dreams shattered. I got involved in business, and I had 3 powerhouse women. One of them was a multimillionaire, and I was tripped out because I was 27, living with a roommate. They just repossessed my 1991 Nissan pickup truck, gone. And that was a $214 car payment I couldn't make. You believe that, Lynn? And here I didn't play professional baseball, I had no money. Most people don't know. Like, if you don't sign a multi-million-dollar contract, you're only playing like 6-7 months out of the year. The rest of that, you gotta go work like normal and hope that you sign that multi-million-dollar contract. So I'm sitting there stressed out, and then these women get a hold of me, and they put it down. I mean, they just said, you got to be strong. They said, the world is not fair. They said, this is like Africa. You wake up every morning, if you sit around and whimper and cry, you're going to get ate up. And they just did not buy into it. At the same time, they brought that nurturing. Like, you can do it. We got you. We're here. But you need to learn how to bridge the gap against all people. And then they told me something that stuck with me to this day. They said, have you heard, this is one of my major mentors. She's the one that had made millions of dollars. She was 28. And she says, have you heard that money doesn't grow on trees? I'm like, yeah, I've heard that. She says, where does it grow?
In the bank.
I started going, oh, good question. That's the stuff like, and like she says, money grows in other people's pockets and purses. And you got to learn to exchange products and services and bring value for them to transfer some of that money to you. And those people that have that money, here they are. They are men, they are women, They are young folks. They are middle-aged. They are adults. They are white. They are black. They are Asian. They're Latino. She started talking about, she says, so you got to learn how to communicate with everybody. And I was like, this is the bomb. I've been waiting to hear this. And that woman worked with me hands-on for about a year and a half. I mean, hands-on, and she didn't let me get away with nothing. She said, you got to pay attention to detail. And it'd be a little piece of paper on the floor. She says, you see that little piece of paper on the floor? That is going to cost you millions of dollars. I was like, huh? She goes, because if a strong business person walks in here, they might not want to engage in business because you got that little piece of paper on the floor. She says, pay attention to the little things, because all the little things are going to equal your big things. So I grabbed that, went out and started applying that. And I just took the same passion that I took to become a professional athlete. I put it in business. And I take the same passion and the discipline that it took me to become a professional athlete. I put it into life. I took the same passion and I put it into figuring out how to have a great relationship. Now I messed some relationships up, but I did it passionately, you know, until I figured it out. Like I figured out how to hit a curveball, Lynn. So I figured out how to have a relationship.
Yep, you failed forward. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So I know you already answered this question. The biggest factor that helped you be successful is your grandma.
Grandma and granddaddy, both of them.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So
by the way, how come country people always got two first names?
I don't know.
May, Mary Sue.
Why? I don't know, but don't worry. I'm going to ask you about jokes later. So Scott says here, passion and discipline. You guys have questions for him, man. I suggest you highly find them, especially if you don't got no clubhouse to go to. So what are your successful habits? I'm bringing the clubhouse to the people.
Hey, people are begging for invites still.
I know, right? And we got the secrets to that.
Yeah,
anyways, so what are the successful habits?
Lynn is tripping right now. She's got,
because we're having so much.
She's gonna hit the giggle box.
I'm glad Mark's not here. He'd be having me snorking right now here.
Oh man, for real. That's when you really got a good one. You start snorting like them hogs.
Let me see. What hard times left you a better person after it was finished? Don't say smelling like a hog either.
Dude, I'm telling you, I have been through some of the hardest times. I'm currently going through, hell. So it's like every time, and I learn, you don't want the hell, you don't want the hard times. But when I asked one of my mentors, I said, if you could change any one thing after you've had all this success, what would you have changed? He said, you know what? I would have enjoyed the hell more. So, so I think it's just, when you got to understand that when you go through it, like I've had, like my injury, my baseball injury, if you can imagine putting every inch of your soul into becoming a professional athlete, when 1 in 500,000 kids that play baseball ever get to become a professional, I do it. And then here in 1995, my road roommate was Alex Rodriguez, and I'm about to play next to Ken Griffey Jr. And next thing you know, it's gone. So I had to take that, and that's why I believe like this show is so important, because you're getting different people on here, wonderful people that can tell you their stories, and you're going to find a theme. Everybody that makes it adapts and overcomes. So for me, I had to adapt and overcome with my elbow injury, and I wanted to be just as successful as if I was a mega star professional athlete. And I think I've been able to do pretty good with that since then.
Absolutely. So Kellen's in the house. She left the clubhouse to say hi, I'm sure.
Kelly,
and then we have, what's the best investment one can make? I would say in yourself. First of all, but that was my answer. I'm sorry, they're wanting your answer, I'm sure too, but
that answer to that question?
What's that?
They want to answer to that question?
Yeah, I just gave one answer, but I'm sure you have a good one too.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback. I'm gonna agree with you. You got to invest in yourself. Think about this. Think about this. They are encouraging us to go to college and get student loans and go into debt. And it's the number one asset of the government now is student loan debt. People don't realize that the number one asset of the government is the students that they allow to get put in debt. Now, if you get a $40,000 loan and you go take the 25-year plan that they'll give you to pay it back, you'll end up paying back $244,000.
Crazy.
That's a good gig. Imagine if you could have that gig.
Right.
And so what about taking just a handful, a few $1,000s? There's all these great coaches. So like life coaches, when I say a life confidence coach, what about take a little piece of money and, 1,000, 2, 4, 5? What if you spent 10,000 and you got coaching hands-on with people that started from nothing, that rose to the top, and they learn to navigate through the hell, through the storms in life? What if you did that? Well, instead of going, hey, let me go get a piece of paper. Now I do these seminars. You show like a little clip, and I've trained in, I don't know, they say over 1 million people. I don't know how accurate that is, but globally. And I always do this. And this is the funny part. In every country I go to, I say, how many of you graduated from college? Please stand up. And Lynn, all these people stand up. And I say, okay, remain standing. Now I have these translators going in different languages. One time I was in Salzburg, Austria. There was 13 different languages being translated. The room's packed, hundreds of people. I think there was about 600 people in that room. I said, everybody stand up if you graduated. So hundreds of people stand up. I said, remain standing if you're currently working in the field that your degree is in.
Case closed. My work is done here.
You see about 3, 4 people standing up. That's it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's sad to say that, yeah, you should invest in yourself and, and find your passion. Because, man, ain't nothing worse than having a job and not liking what you're doing. We're working for SOB.
JOB working for SOB? You got some OB working over there.
Just calling it how I see it, Anyways, what mistakes have you made along the way? And we only got about 15 minutes. No, just kidding.
What mistakes have I made?
Yeah.
What mistakes have I not made? That's why you got to get a coach who made a bunch of mistakes and they're still breathing.
And it's funny you say that because, I was a bodybuilder and I was an athlete before, and I got drugged behind a vehicle and I've got arthritis through my whole body and blah, blah, blah. But long story short, I've lost 100 pounds twice. I'm going to work on doing that again this third time, but I just have some medical issues. So, but when I achieve it though, people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, you can't handle the truth. Because if I tell you how I did it, you ain't going to do it. You're not going to take the actions. But trust me, if I do it this time with the health issues I have, and people don't take my advice this third time after I did this, oh Lordy, don't ever ask me. don't ask me how I did it. Because like I said, it's sad when you give all your heart and you give everybody, hi Charisse, you give everybody your information and they just don't take the action and they don't know the truth. It's just crazy. So what's your big, hairy, audacious goals there, Jay?
Should I dare say it? No,
Yes. Bring it to fruition, baby. Bring it.
I got some pretty big goals, man. I got some pretty big goals. I've accomplished a bunch of them, but I'm imagining a march. See, how I believe we could change the political system is because years ago they had the 1 Million Man March on Washington, and it was like millions, and it was about equality and whatnot going up to Washington, and it made some change, it made some progress, but it didn't make anywhere near the impact it's supposed to make. So I would love to have a millionaire march.
I love it. You know what I tell anybody?
What if you had 1,000? What if you had 2,000? What if you had about just 10,000 instead of 1 million? What if about 10,000 millionaires got together from around the globe and they decided to do a march, and that started going out to CNN and NBC and Fox and all these news channels saying, hey, there's going to be all these millionaires marching. And then all the millionaires they decided to pitch in a little bit of money and get lobbyist groups to actually make the change that has to be made so that there is freedom of speech, there is equality, there is a government that works for the people rather than against the people, that has a voice. So I just believe I would love to be able to one day put together a millionaire march.
I'll help you with that, because you know what I tell everybody? I'm never going to be a billionaire. My never's got to be just right. So I'm never going to be a billionaire. So I got some questions here in the audience.
I want to be a billionaire. So freaking
bad. No, we're going to get shut off here. Let's not start. Anyways, so Sandy says here, they sure don't teach that in school, how to face the truth. That's totally true. And then Franco says, how did you learn how to control your emotions?
That's through literally self-discipline training. So I started with the book Think and Grow Rich, and the first chapter says thoughts are things. So whatever you think, you're right. And so I got control over my thoughts. You know, at the end of that book, Plato says to be conquered by self, for you to be conquered by yourself is the most vile of all things. So my whole focus is to teach people, starting with me, to conquer myself. Nice. So when you're not self-controlled, you've been conquered. And so you got to get tools in your hand. There's tools available. You know, I've got tools available. You know, I know that Lynn's got tools available. There's a bunch of great people out there that's got these tools that you're going to have to get some real education, in my opinion, and invest in yourself and spend some time consciously, competently thinking about it. So Frank, you got to think about it until it becomes second nature, till it becomes unconscious competence.
And, you know, sometimes I used to read Think and Grow Rich so many times, and I would never finish the book because I would get so stuck and it'd be so thick for me. But I know, like, I've probably read 15 times the beginning of that book. And I think I'm going to start doing that now. And because every time you read it, I mean, look at Bob Proctor. I mean, he reads it every stinking day, and you get something right out of it, you know, every day. And I'll tell you what, the bottom line is, you know, you don't plant a tomato seed and you keep looking and unplanting it to see if it's going to be a tomato or or watermelon. You gotta plant that seed, believe in that seed, which is believing in yourself. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to, you don't get to being 55 and not be tainted with all the stuff that happens in your life and be shame and all that. And this year, my word is vulnerable. And so I'm as vulnerable as can be. And all I got to say is that we just got to realize you got to get out of your stinking way and out of your stinking thinking and emotions. Your emotions do not allow you, unless they're joy and happy, but your negative emotions don't allow you to move forward. You're stuck in the problem and not in the solution. Joy is in solution and being present right now. And that's just a little bit of my personal self-development books that I have on the shelf here. But what makes a person beautiful to you, sir?
Humility. The most beautiful thing I've ever seen in a person is their humility. Somebody that's humble. Pride comes before destruction. And so when you humble yourself, it's so beautiful. Even like in my marriage with me and my wife, the thing that we always remind each other of is we grow through our humility. You know, and when we make a mistake, we're not willing to sit there and keep trying to hold on to the mistake. We admit the mistake, and then we're able to keep moving. I think if we just get more people to let that pride go. I got a thing called H2, humble and hustle. You know, if you just humble yourself and then you hustle, you get anything you want out of life. But that's what's sexy to me is humility.
Jay, I can say those things about you because I see that. And what I love is that this show is about showing people a true person. This isn't supposed to be no professional NBC or whatever station. This is Lynn relating to people. And I got to relate to you through just voice. Yeah. And you just loved me right away. And I thank you for that. I thank you for accepting me where I am, where I'm going. And the fact is that people don't understand. We're only here for a minute. And what the world needs right now is laughter, fun, and being goofy like this. But we need to let go and realize why we love a person to begin with. If we could just go back to the basics, we would just, that's right. Let go of pride. That's why I don't have just live, love, and laugh. You got to let go out loud in order to live, love, and laugh, period. Yes. I'll drop the mic on that one.
Boom. Where's Mark at?
No, which of your personality traits have been the most useful for you?
It's been the most useful for me.
Yes.
It's been my cause personality trait. I teach, there's 4 different personality traits. There's, you got your competitive, you're aggressive, and I color coordinate them too. So some of my trainings, I really help people get through this. But you got your, you're aggressive, you're competitive. You got your cause, where you got to make a difference, or else you won't do it. You just won't do something for money first. You got your analytical personality type, where they are very analytical, have to analyze. And then you got your fun personality type. And so every person has all 4 of those personality types in them. It's just that 2 of them are more dominant than the others. So mine, I focus on trying to be a chameleon, but what helps me the most is my caring. When I really empathize and I can really look at the other person and understand their situation and realize that everybody's simply working with the tools that they've been taught thus far. And that's extreme. That's even for the person that you would consider a bad person, even for a crook or somebody done something so terrible. They were working with the tools that they had to work with, and somebody didn't catch them early enough to work with them to get them back on track and get all the great things that are in them out. And so we got to get passionate about, let's catch people before they go over the edge. So my cause has helped me the most.
That's just like, I know Coach Steve Bacon, because he was in school with us at Clubhouse. I had him on yesterday, and he went ahead and got he's working with Bob Proctor, who's 86 right now. And that boy, he humbled himself with a vulnerability story, and it's just amazing. And just the people that finally just got out of their way. And did something about it, not held their story against themselves, but just conquered over it. Because we're all, like Shakespeare said, we're all in a play. We're just in different scenes and different characters in the play.
Beautiful words.
So what's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done, sir, other than just having trust and coming on my show?
Man, I live in spontaneity. I mean, anybody knows me. I'm like, 1 second, I'm like, all right, boom, let's go to Paris.
I noticed that about you.
Oh man, I live in spontaneity. So it's like, if you ask me, my wife would be the best person, because she's like, man, we never know what's going to happen, because I'm just like, I'm out, I'm gone. So I think, one time we're driving down the lake. I was probably about 16, 17 years old. My dad had a real fast speedboat, around fit fast speedboat. Him and my granddad, I'm sitting in the middle seat, and we're like, gone. And I'm sitting there in the boat, and I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I just jumped straight up in the air. And so what I do, I just jumped straight up out of the air, and the boat went underneath me. And I landed in the lake.
That would have been a freaking pickle, dude.
Man, my they come back. They like come back. They're like, well, what in the hell is wrong? I said, man, I just wanted to do that. I just felt that. Yeah, but I got another one. I got another one that's close.
Okay, go for it.
My granddad, there was this cow, humongous cow. So we had this big herd of cows, and there was one of them that was like almost 2 years old and was still trying to suck on its mom's milk. And so the mother had got pregnant, and she was gonna have another calf. And my granddad's like, this cow can't keep sucking on his mom. So there's a technique that farmers have. They put this plate.
Yeah.
They put like a little. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah. Well, I live in Montana. Come on now.
They put that little plate in the nose, and it hangs down and has a little prongs. So when they try to go get the milk from the tit, all of a sudden the mom will kick them.
Right.
So my granddad said, come on, we got to go down. Me and my dad, my granddad, we walk down the field. He said, we're going to herd the cows up in the corner. He tells my dad, Dwight, you take the rope. He says, you lasso it around. he tells me, he says, Jay, you hold the rope, let it get to the end, and just barely pull it tight and let it go. Then we'll go down in the woods and we'll get the rope, pull it up around the tree, and we'll leverage her up. Now I'm 17 years old. My dad lassos the cow. The cows all start taking off. This is a full-size cow. They're taking off, and the rope's going out of my hand. And I'm like, my goodness, okay, boy, get ready to let go of the rope. I'm like, okay. And then inside of me, Lynn, I said this, I'm going to be a man today. I ain't letting go of this damn rope for nothing. And my granddad said, let the rope go. And I said, no. And he said, let it go. I said, no. And Lynn, I'm telling you, I felt like my whole spirit came out of my body. My body went, I go, I'm hauling ass down through them woods, man. That cow's dragging me. And they're going, let go of the rope. I said, no.
That's as close as you're going to get to a rodeo, dude.
And he said, well, swing it to the tree. And I start veering it, and I get to a tree, and then boom, and that rope hits, and the cow goes, boom. The cow gets up, I mean, horns and everything, and starts charging after me. I let go of the rope then, of course, and I haul ass across the creek, and I don't know how I didn't get my feet wet, but I was running so fast. I jumped through that creek and went upside that bank, and got away from that cow. And my granddad says, boy, is your feet wet? I said, no, sir. I didn't do what you just did and run the way you just ran. You crazy as hell, boy.
But if you got your feet,
spontaneous thing.
Spontaneous, and that's lots of pickles there. I'll tell you what, if you said your feet were wet, you're probably going to get your ass beat for that one.
Ain't that true? We didn't get no timeouts in the South.
Is this a trick question, Grandpa? Is this a trick question?
No, there's no timeouts in the South, boy. You get ass whoopings.
What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote? Damn. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I have a favorite quote. That's a question I've never been asked.
Oh, well, you've never been on my show before. So let's go to this one, though.
I'm making a bunch of quotes, though. See, I wrote a book called 365 Quotes to Make You Better. So I just put the quotes in there. As they come to me, they become my favorites. There you go.
Exactly. I need to do that. I need to make a book quote.
Yes.
Hey, Joe, Jay.
I'll be your first buyer.
All right. Jay, congratulations on all your compliments. Not sure if she's already spoken on it, but it don't take much to get you going. But do you have a particular morning routine you follow? Yep.
I wake up in the morning. This is 1,000,000% every morning I wake up. I wake up, I immediately reach over, grab my headphones, and I put in my tones depending on what I feel like I need. Right when I wake up, I kind of tell what I need. So we've got different tones for different things, sound frequency. So I'll put my tones in, like this morning, I put Elevate in, and then I will listen to those. And then while I'm listening to or shortly after, I then grab my scriptures and I read at least one chapter of the scriptures every day. Awesome. So I'll either read it while the tones are going, or so before I eat any physical food, before I eat any or I drink any physical liquid, I feed myself spiritually first before I do any of that. And then I like to go for a walk, or I like to get on my total gym, or I like to get on my small trampoline exercise. And I got to move, get my blood going. You know, walking, if you walk 3 or 4 times a week, I work with a lot of top doctors, 30 minutes, 4 times a week minimum, you're going to change your life. That'll change your life. So I get to walk, and then I get into my day. Do that every day.
Awesome. That is really awesome. Let's end with this question here. What book recommendations do you think have impacted your life? Now, mind you, look up Jay Noland on Amazon. I'm sure your books are there, right?
Yeah.
That goes without saying. So do that. But other than that, what books were impactful to your life? It sounds like the Bible, and we already talked about the Think and Grow Rich. But
that's it.
Those are it, right? That's it. Case closed.
Most people read a lot of books. I don't read a lot of books. I got a hold of The Law of Success which is by Napoleon Hill. And the condensed version of that is Think and Grow Rich. And I learned to put all of my energy into mastering that book. You just master that book, the rest of these things will come. You can now, from time to time, like Relentless by Tim Grover, I'll add things in. Robert Kiyosaki had a great book called Fake. I like that. It brings you into reality about what's going on in the world financially. And then, but as far as personal growth, you got to literally get great at mastering a book like Think and Grow Rich will take you higher than you can imagine.
Jay, it was a true honor to actually see you face to face, my brother. It's just been an honor to spend this time with you. I hope you know how much I love you. I hope I showed you appreciation and gratitude for you spending this hour with me. Yeah. I will forever cherish this. And again, I think the clubhouse between you and Coach Steve are going to know who the heck I am and want to ask you to be on my show. I only ask once, and that's it. I don't go back twice.
I have to be here, man. I was saying yesterday in the room I put on, when you can smell real, you grab it. And Lynn is real. So I could tell, I could feel, and you can hear. That's one thing the clubhouse forces you to do, is to pick up what's real. And this is one of the realest women you're going to find out there. Everyone should be spreading the word about her show. Let's just elevate her. Let's get her so popular. Let's get her, when she's going to come on and get people laughing and get people inspired. Come on now. We've got to pump up people like Lynn Serrano and her great. Just have to be done.
Well, you know what they say, you're only as best as the 5 people you hang around with. And in that clubhouse, I am blessed with, that's why I say I'm never going to be a billionaire, because at this rate, I'm going to go from zero to, I'm going to go from zero to billions, man. Because never say never, people. I preach that every day. I say, go out there, make these memories, make them last. You should have movies and videos and recordings and all these things for when you pass, you leave your legacy behind. And Jay, you're leaving a wonderful carbon print on this earth. I'm just grateful to call you a friend and family. I love you. I can't wait to go next time to Vegas and actually chill out with you and have some fun. I do have another show, and it's called Real and Raw with Lynn and Brian, and that's going to be next. So I got to change the scenery. I got to get me groove going on.
Real and Raw.
That's right. Real and Raw. That's where I just, I'll be talking about you on that show, just so you know. And it's all going to be good. All love.
All love. You so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. Don't go nowhere. Everybody just hang on. I'm going to show you a little video of him again. Have a good one, guys. See you in my next show.